Hello and welcome to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. I'm excited to play this. This is the director's cut, so there will be...
Paris.
I'm sorry, Nicole.
City of
No,
love,
you go ahead.
Romance and dreams.
It's not like I was trying to
they
say anything.
I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death.
Wait, murder makes you associate things with death? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, thank you Charles Cecil, was that this game is very nostalgic for me. Not the director's cut specifically, because I don't really have much experience with the director's cut. It just adds a lot more scenes with Nicole in it. But this scene in particular is very nostalgic, with the birds flying away. Even though in the director's cut here, it's slightly different. It's like a reanimated version, if you will. But still, this view here over a beautifully drawn Paris is... It's a lovely scene. And this game is just an absolute gem. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I do.
I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now.
I don't care if you're in the bath.
With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon.
The
No photos,
Pierre
so leave your gear at home.
Carchon?
He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why.
He wants to touch your butt.
Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe.
Classy.
He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty.
Ooh, everybody loves
Whoa,
mimes.
I hate mimes, but
Except
unless
Nicole.
you humor them, they don't go away.
Yeah, it doesn't look ominous at
Here
all.
I was, the palace of the media king and the ice queen.
Ooh,
I
ice
pressed
cream?
the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events.
Don't worry,
which
that
would
guy's not
change
the
my
bad guy.
life
He has nothing to do
forever.
with this story.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Oh no.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The ice queen was certainly living up to her reputation.
Voice acting's really good in this game.
Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I
Rude.
certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty. You're too kind, madame.
I promise you, it's not what you think. The mime is not the bad
talented
guy.
And very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon. I
Why
am
is he holding
honored.
his crotch?
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must...
Ooh,
Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again.
clumsy murderer.
Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment. my dear
Awkward
girl.
pause. Yeah, another
you
Ming
journalists
Baz.
are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame.
The shade.
That
It was just the
was
cat.
No cat.
God, what?
I know what it
Monsieur
looks like, but it's
Carchon.
not the mime. Guys, please get off that. Why is his head so big? His head is like 2/3 of his entire body.
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime.
Mm-hmm,
Do you
sure it
think he-
was.
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
We're going to wait for the cops. And by wait for the cops, I mean start tampering with the body immediately. So as per...
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
As per normal point-and-click adventure rules, you can examine things by the right-click button, and left-clicking usually carries out whatever action. So this will do something. It'll put something in motion. This will pick it up.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
Yeah, you were punched the F out.
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow.
Well, now he won't be able to see.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
That's
In
interesting.
his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the
Gesundheit.
ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now.
It's off to jail with you. All right, so we have... I know. I will explain it to our dear audience. We have an inventory that we can access by clicking this bag. And inside, we have the items that we've collected. And we can use those items on other items or on the surroundings in order to progress through the story and solve the puzzles. So the eyeball obviously means you can examine. Something interesting about this, though, is sometimes the left click will give you different dialogue than the right click. And there might be some puzzles that come up where you actually have to left or right click specifically to examine it in the right way. But you would think
could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
But you would think that as long as you can just look at it, that you're fine.
A Louis XIV table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy.
Nice. Okay, examine that, please. And we can pick up this ornate handkerchief.
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Mm-hmm. That's what I say about really expensive things I find in other people's houses.
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Well, now you're just bragging.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff.
Language.
Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because
Good
there
question.
was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
It sounds an awful lot like justification. Hey, it goes without saying, but if you encounter or witness a murder, please don't immediately go getting your fingerprints on all of the stuff and ransacking the crime scene. I'm going to pick this up because I need it for reasons.
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine.
Because it was from France,
Just
presumably.
the color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Someone is stealing.
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Everybody and their language in this game. All right, we'll go talk to her. Very slowly, it seems.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
So here are the things we can ask about. We can bring up items we have to either give or get some insight on. Usually it results in some generic dialogue like, I don't know what you want me to do with that. And these are the topics of conversation or people that we can ask about.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
He wanted to touch your
I have
butt.
no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Okay.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
It's an awful big chip on your shoulder. Here is a mechanic of the game that I don't believe has any bearing on the story at all. It's just the illusion of choice. You can either tell the truth or you can lie. I'm going to go ahead and be honest because I'm a good boy.
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Because I always tell the
Your
truth.
husband invited me here today because he needed me. I
He
think
needed my
knew
butt.
Somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already. I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Like a Ming vase.
Thank you.
Or a mime.
I promise you won't regret this.
Or a DIY BDSM kit. Well, there we go. We have the key to the room, which we will examine shortly. This isn't the room. I just want to see what she says about the painting. Nico, please, come on. Nico Collard. That's how you say her name in France. In French.
Imelda
Sorry.
had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that.
Why? Because you think she thinks she's a girl dog? That's rude. So this is the door that is locked. If only we had a key. Kablam.
Now we were getting somewhere.
And that's what we in the biz call easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie?
Now, wherever you read it, there's a lot of truth in it. Well, let me tell you. All right.
There was the very faintest of clicks.
How I love faint clicks. Arguably in my top 5 favorite sounds of all time.
Behind the picture was a safe.
Behind the safe was money. We're going to use that thing we found using our hair clip to open it. Inside the safe was an ancient dildo.
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact. and Carchon was past carrying.
Was he? Because he's dead? Is that what you're getting at, Nico? Okay, so...
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
Really? It just kind of looks half-baked. The way everything's just thrown on the counter.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant.
Elephants are my
But
favorite.
Not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew
Aw.
for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father.
He
They
did?
really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
You don't know that. Did you even ask her? You're just taking everything, aren't you? You know what? This fat stack of bills, I'm going to take it. Clearly, it means nothing to Imelda. So what we need to do is print the whatchamacallit on the roller by combining items,
Putting
I
the
think.
paint.
What if we combine
I
this?
smeared the paint all over the cloth. When
Easy.
I do messy, I really like to put my heart into it. I hoped this was going to help. They don't make lace like that anymore.
You just ruin a priceless handkerchief.
I wiped the paint-covered cloth over the surface of the stone cylinder. It took me right back to art class at school. And Maurice, my gorgeous art teacher. Such a shame they had to fire him. Ah well, concentrate, Nico, concentrate.
We are one step closer to graffitiing everything in this apartment. All right, so we're going to place the cylinder here.
Genius. The roller
I
and the
know.
pen worked just as I planned. But what did it say?
It says subjudice.
It was some kind of coded message. It read, subjudice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense.
What do you mean?
I suddenly
This makes
realized
perfect
there was a
sense.
connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The
Gesundheit.
Conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law codes. So, subjudice could in this case mean literally under the law codes, below the Conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Nobel Peace Prize? Or the Nobel Prize? I don't know. I think we're done here, actually, if memory serves. What else do I need to get? I picked up the elephant. I'm pretty sure I have everything. So slowly make your way through the door.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
Oh, not that door. You will never get in that door. If you guys want to know what's behind that door, well, forget about it, because you'll never get past there. It's impossible. So put it out of your mind. I don't want you to think about that door anymore. Okay, bye. Sorry that your husband got shot or whatever.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to Imelda.
Okay.
Did you
Bye.
find anything useful?
This
Yeah.
carving, do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
subjudice
Wait, yes, I was.
was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
You shouldn't lie to the police officers.
Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
Well, let's go find out. You can examine these, but you can't really do anything with them. And another really cool mechanic in this game is that you can walk extremely slowly. So enjoy that. There might be a way to speed it up, but I don't know. Let me guess, it won't open?
I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move.
Typical.
A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Well, we can solve these easily. This is like a game I have on my phone that I used to play all the time. The puzzles themselves aren't terribly difficult, I say as I fumble around with this, surely. But these are clearly meant to be more difficult than they typically are. Okay, I think if we do something like this... Almost there. I can see the solution in my mind's eye. Bam.
Yes. One down, one to go.
See, it's easy when you know how. You just move this up, and then move this over here, and then move this down, and then move this over, and then move this there, and then move this over here. It'll be so easy. Literal child's play. This... Whoops. What did I do? I clicked the journal button? Sorry. That actually startled me. This is a puzzle that they give kindergarten kids. Are you even joshing me right now? Okay, I'm kind of stuck. And just like that, easy.
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Got it first try with no problems. Ignore that smash cut.
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy. In more ways than one.
Get it? Because it was right by the water? It's fishy? Because there's fish? Alright, you get it. You get it. Push that boat over for me, Nico. That would be very helpful.
Oops.
This boat was on top of this piece of trash that I need to pick
An old
up.
shell case. I wondered what that was doing there.
Doing her part to combat litter. Good for you, Nico.
The words sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right. But what did it mean here?
Probably left, right. What? Okay. I like how they just spell the puzzle out for you. Alright, stick it in the hole. Don't take that out of context.
Canchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
Just like my first time. Okay, I need to look at the thing. So SD, SS, DSS. Left, right, left, right, left. So.
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe.
Okay, you made me forget.
Another click. Another step closer.
Okay, stop talking though because I'm forgetting what you're saying. Okay. Or I'm forgetting the thing I'm supposed to do. Perfect. Was there any doubt?
I love the sound of locks clicking open.
With my photographic memory, that was easy as pie. And pie's pretty easy.
I removed the stone cylinder.
All right, we're going to go through here. Now, unlike point-and-click adventure games of an earlier time than even this, you can't actually enter a fail state, so it is important to save regularly, but you're not going to encounter a situation in which you can no longer beat the game. Okay. The first thing that I want to do, for obvious reasons, is smash the heck out of this bullet casing. So I'm going to do that. Because obviously, why wouldn't you? In a situation like this, what's the solution?
Oh my god!
Shout, "Oh my god," and smash the bullet casing.
With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again.
I'm going to pick that up. The now flattened bullet casing.
The stone slab had flattened one end of the shell case.
Okay. And you can actually... Okay, Nico, please do the thing so I can describe it.
Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious.
So you can actually hold this open without flattening it. That's not why I flattened it.
The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting somewhere.
You'll see why I flattened it in a bit. For those of you that just now left the video because you were stuck at this part, you're welcome.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed.
No, jam's not good, unless it's on toast.
I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up.
Maybe a giant oblong stone cylinder. Okay, so this is stuck. We can solve that problem by using the bullet casing. I have no idea why that works.
Another good use for a shell case. Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for?
That's literally the only time a shell casing has been used like that.
Wow. Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how
what
did it
state?
tie in with Carchon?
Maryland? Connecticut? Don't tell me. Colorado. It was a dumb joke. I'm sorry. But I'm also not sorry.
Amazing. The thing still worked. The room lit up bright as day.
Okay. It's time to examine further. Examine further.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it. That wasn't going to help.
Says you. You'd think you'd put that cylinder, but if you grab it, then everything closes again, so that's not the answer here. The answer is to open the drawer, grab the paper out of it.
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
And then break the drawer. Good. Well done.
Damn, don't you just hate it when that happens?
You are now a point-and-click adventure master.
A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village, and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story. But there had to be more for me to discover.
The important thing to note about this... The important thing to note about this picture is that it's a picture of Africa before the rains were blessed there. Oh, I need to solve this, right? Yeah. It's been written in a substitution cipher, which just means each one of these symbols represents a letter. And this actually took me a really long time to solve, but if you start with the small ones, like this one over here, as like for instance, there's very few two-letter words, right? This could be as, it could be an, it could be to, it could be of. But if you look right below the symbols here, it's almost certainly to. T-O and then T-O-O. So what you do is you just click kablamo. And then you're like, dude, that's totally a T. Everybody knows. Then you grab that, that's a O. Two. So things are making sense now. And this one is most certainly of. Because what two-letter word starts with O? Well, on. So it could be on. But it also could be of. You don't know. So let's try it. Yeah, probably of. Because this looks like follow. So let's go ahead and do that. L? Yep. Which would make this a W. W's the... W fell on its side. And then you just look to see if some other things start making sense. Like, this is fall, right? So that's very likely an A. In which case we will... That's not what I wanted. No, I got the wrong one. Nobody look at me. You're not allowed to tease me. And that's probably who. And you'll probably be wrong. Ooh, together. 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 Where is that symbol? And then E. Then that's R. And if that's a big one. See how some of these words are starting to make sense? Except this one. What is that? Argent? Maybe that's supposed to be you. Like urgent. So we have A wrong. Let's try you. See, that makes a little more sense. Full report. So P. See, guys, it's easy when you know how. You just have to believe in yourself. But, right? Yeah. This is, but this is too urgent. Sorry, I'd be a little faster at this if I had done it recently. To wait. Ooh, I guess we found where the A really is, huh? Don't know what an Arno is. So that's D. Coincidence. Probably. This This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems. I was almost like, seeds. Duh. Alright. M is over here. Yep. And this is Yamada. I actually remember that one. Together in July. I remember that one too. Because it's not like there could be very much. Danger, take great care. So, that. And then this last one could be any of them, but memory, if memory serves, it's X.
Decrypted
Yep.
the note. It read, Pierre, full report to follow. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X.
X is the one that marks the spot. Okay, now what do I do? Can I pick this up again?
The draw had come out easily enough, but wouldn't fit back into place. It was pretty clear from the lack of dust that someone had been working very recently at this desk.
Well, that's not unnerving. Could you imagine coming to a strange place that had been used recently and seeing pictures, candid pictures taken of you just, lying about?
Oh my God! The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything from my favorite food to my waist size. They were right about chocolate, but come on guys, I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Carchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big and organized. I was part of it, and people were getting murdered.
La Liberté.
This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume. A penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders. Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I'd proved they were just the opposite. So, how did they fit in with Carchon? I had enough for a story. An amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Carchon's to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
This is Nico's apartment, in case you are not able to read.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Is that a different
Ronnie,
actress?
You cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends. Powerful friends. For your own sake.
Forget what happened.
You got it. End of conversation. Good night.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would.
Oh, it's okay. Might want to answer that.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know. We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
Also, if we're both French, why are we speaking
People
English?
complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
Oh, poor Nico. And this is where the original game starts.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobbart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
That's not suspicious. Where have I seen that face? It's not important. You're going to hear a noticeable drop in audio quality after this first line.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was going to do. I was going to find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty and equality and fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and money, of course.
Exposition dump. All right, so this is where the game starts. The original. You start right here after the explosion. I'm going to pick this up because I want you to hear the difference in audio quality.
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
See, it's really weird. I'm not sure why they just chose not to re-record everything for the director's cut, because it's clear that they recorded new lines. But they kept some of the old stuff. Maybe it's just on more modern headphones, it's easier to notice the difference, but we will continue this next time. So don't go anywhere. Well, do go somewhere, because if you're watching this as it comes out, then you don't have anywhere to go. So I will see you next time.